So we're back again to Mafia Unveiled, the John and Gene show. And today we got a good segment for you. So we started, me and Gene had a little discussion, and we're going to talk about some of the issues of the mob world.
And that issue is the fact that Joey Molino is a jerk off.
And I'm actually the one that's going to be talking up for Joey Molino. And I'll tell you who the real jerk off is, and it ain't Joey. It's Joey's a gangster. Whether you like him or not, he's who he was. And I gave my opinion on him already. He did work himself. He's got a personality with him. And you know what? If people don't like that he's on TV, including yourself or anybody else that says that, he's a rat and shouldn't be doing. It's just the rest of the mob doesn't follow the rule yet. So why should he follow any of their rules? He does his own thing with his own crew and everything else he does. And, so listen, whether you like him or not, the guy was a street guy.
Yeah, so I'm going to go totally against that. So the thing with me is Joey Molino is I think he lived off a name. I think his father was a gangster. I think he's a privileged gangster. He's from Philadelphia. There was like 7 guys he was in control of. He calls himself he was in a war. It was like a 3-on-3 shootout. I used to have that once a week. I mean, these are things that don't impress me at all. I'm Josh. Sammy Gravano, honestly, he was the underboss of the Gambino family. He killed 19 people.
Hold on, I got to
hey, think about it. Hold on. This guy, listen, come on. I mean, the guy was a gangster. Who are you going to pick, Joey Molino or Sammy Gravano? This is a debate. You got a debate.
Joey Molino all day. Sammy Gravano is a clown.
Listen.
He shot one guy in his life.
Hold on.
He's the Kamala Harris of
all right.
the Joe Biden regime. He fit the bill. He's hiding in Arizona. The guy's a fucking rat when he had a chance to do whatever.
Joey Molino shot a guy with a machine gun. He couldn't even kill him. Figure that one out. Hold on. Who uses a machine gun? The guy don't die.
Yeah, but you got to remember something. Joey Molino is the difference between Joey and Sammy is when Joey challenged when Nicky Scarfa was very strong. Okay, he was in prison and his son was out on the street. Joey went and did that hit, whether people say it was him or it wasn't him. And, my opinion was him, and he was cool about it. He liked The Godfather. He liked the scene with Michael Corleone when he kills the chief of police and he kills I forget the other guy's name off the top of my head, and he flicks the gun away. So he had the presence of mind, meaning he was under control. He wasn't nervous. He was, you might have had adrenaline running, but he was smart enough and joked around about it enough to flip that gun the same way.
But think about this. So I'll never forget this. When I was a kid, my grandpa used to work my dad used to work in the unions, right? He worked with Tommy Spinelli, right?
Right.
And he's best friends with Tommy Spinelli. I never forget, my dad comes home. He goes, man, guess what happened? Tell my mom. He goes, my friend's father went missing. He goes, nobody could find him. Later on we found out Sammy Gravano killed him and put him under a fucking a stall. I'm saying this guy, whether he killed, I understand what you're saying, that, he didn't pull the triggers and everything. But think about all the money he did make in the 80s. He made millions.
He made money from Garofalo. It wasn't his, and he always held on to somebody's pants.
And then he killed him too.
He didn't kill him himself. Anybody can do what he does. And he invites somebody who looks like all of us guys here. These guys are all shooting pool. And I tell one of them to go get the other guy, go get him a coffee. He walks back and shoots from behind his head. Any fucking coward can do that.
But you still got to see the brains and the stuff going all over the place.
You got brains.
You still got to see the brains. I mean, he's getting shot in the head. The brains still fly all over.
Here's the difference. Joey went out on the street. Joey was very close to his friends.
By the way, he says get it out. So if we mess up, whatever, anything we do, like talking, it's not live. You can edit it out. So bring up Joey Caves, the whole situation. We'll go over the did. All right.
So here's the difference. Joey went out and did his own work. Joey did an armored car. Joey was good with his friends.
Right.
Joe fucked around. He was a regular guy, played ball with his friends, just did this. You can say what you want there. I grew up there. I know all those guys. I was in jails with all those guys. I was friends with a lot of these guys. The active guys are still today. Some of the guys who were killed, regardless if they became enemies or not. I know those.
Answer me this, but just be honest. Did him and Gotti do something against all the rules and get away with it? They killed Paul Castellano. Think about it. They did something that nobody ever did.
Sammy tries to elevate himself in that. He wasn't around for that. I went through this already on another show about Sammy. He elevates himself. He's just the jerk off that claims he was in the car. He didn't shoot Paul. He wasn't involved in setting that up. All Gotti's guys, his complete inner circle friends, his brother and everybody else set that up. He wasn't at the park when they discussed it. He wasn't Frankie the Chico. He was friends with Frankie the Chico, who brought him along. He was only a made guy at the time. He wasn't a concierge. He wasn't
How do you move up so fast, though?
Because Frankie the Chico gets killed. So when Frankie the Chico gets killed, then he was in no man's land.
But guys had to respect him. They had to fear him and respect him a little bit. I mean, from the go to an underboss, why didn't Gotti pick John Caniglia or fucking?
Well, because he's taking his Queens guys, and he needed a Brooklyn guy that already knew the Brooklyn crew. So Sammy already had his hands on the Brooklyn crew through Frankie the Chico.
Do you think
so he was an easy fit? That's why I said he's like, come on.
Like,
the guy who used to done.
Hey, let me ask you a question. All right, but here's my opinion. I'm younger than you guys. Do you feel that Gotti was intimidated by Sammy Gravano, all the power he had in Brooklyn?
Never. John.
No.
John never fucking. John treated Sammy like a jerk off. John abused Sammy. John fucking didn't stop abusing Sammy. Sammy opened up his chairs for him. Sammy ran around for him. Sammy carried an umbrella for him. Sammy ratted out a woman. He gave her a bucket load of Tony. I said, nobody talks about it. Sammy fucking painted a tattoo of a fake AB tattoo on his body. He's full of shit. The guy's running to Arizona. You want to be that guy? You want to be that, we're going to talk about Sicario. You want to be that stupid? Let's talk about Joey Caves, right? Because you know Joey Caves. They can say what they want about Joey. Joey had balls. And Joey was going to beat he was going to beat the brakes off of Sammy in prison. And he told Sammy, you better watch the way you're talking. You're lucky you're an old man, or I'll beat you up and down this prison.
I bunked with Joey Caves, and I'm not bragging or boasting about killing people like that. I bunked with this man for a while. Me and him were together in Farrington. We got into a lot of trouble together. We would fuck with people, and we went into a hole, and he really started telling me like his murders and his details. And I remember when I left the hole, I just says, "Oh, I'm definitely going to heaven." All I hear about was meat cleavers, meat hooks, digging holes, dragging them out, the body, the gases. I'm like, bro, these some changes. I was like this sleeping, like, what the fuck? I thought I was crazy. This guy takes the cake. He was one of my good friends, legit tough guy.
That. But the truth is, like guys or not, you got to be honest about who they were and their ability. And the same thing with Joey. Listen, the guy lasted all over the street. He's a cat. He does have the ability to last. He does it. And I don't care what his uncle did. That's not him.
All right.
I said, and I don't care what anybody says in the New York mob about him, because they break every fucking rule.
Right.
But so there's nobody to judge what he does. And he doesn't give a fuck, actually. He won't answer to any of them. That's why I like the guy.
No, but I understand that, but here's the thing with me, and I feel like he's not that much respected. If you're so feared and respected, why are people disrespect him with his wife while he's in prison? How come nobody's standing up for him, going to kill to do something?
Because I'm going to tell you something, because guys always think they're not going to be the next victim, number one.
Right.
Two, his hands are tied a lot because he's got so many touches on him, so many cases on him. He was doing work himself. He was going along with the work. There's cameras everywhere now, so they think they're cute. There's a million guys that talk stupid to me on the internet now and everything else because they feel they're safe.
Okay.
There's a million guys that never shot a gun in their fucking lives. They'll get cute with them now because they think they're safe. This is a different era. So they get to be trolls, and they're what we call the second floor guys when we were kids. They're the guys yelling out the window, I'm a tough guy. They'll never come down to fight. How they do it by computer.
I just don't see. I feel like he was the boss of Philly, but I feel like they were just a dysfunctional corner store gang. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't like him being a boss in Philly is like the equivalent of an associate in the Genovese family. Yeah, honestly.
I get it because of the neighbors, but it's like any other street kid that we talk about. A gang of black kids that are friends with me. They're not mob guys, but they're straight up killers.
They had 17 made guys in the whole family. We got that just in Ozone Park.
I know that, but to me, I don't give a fuck who's made a list. It doesn't make him a man. It doesn't make him a tough guy. And Joey doesn't need to tell him to be a boss. Joey, and listen, I was in Brazil penitentiaries, right? I was doing it by myself. I didn't have guys. Later on, I put a crew of guys together that's still friends with me till today, right, from all over the world. But I have the ability, right, to go to those prisons and survive. I know Joey has the same ability.
Right.
But the damage, he'll be cleaning someone's shoe.
All right, ready?
He's full of
guys,
shit.
He's never gonna last. Me and him, close as it could be, but we have our own opinions. This is good, so you get to see the real truth. This is my true opinion. I do think that Sammy Gravano was the underboss and was one of those powerful guys in the country. I can't say what he didn't do, but he was an underboss of the Gambino family.
Listen, Kamala Harris is the vice president of his fucking country. She's a nitwit, and he's a nitwit.
But was he one of the most feared guys at one time? Could you say?
I never feared.
More than Joey Molino?
No, I think Joey. Okay, here, let me put it this way. Yeah. I had to go do a piece of work. When I was on the street, I'd take Joey with me any day over fucking Sammy. Any day.
No, not me.
If Joey was in front of Sammy, I wouldn't trust him in the back. Joey has something about him that's very loyal to his friends. He might have been accused of a lot of other things, but to his personal friends, he's a good guy. Some of his friends are jerk-offs.
I heard they
like
called
that fat kid Angelo Lawton. But
he took out scraps, Joey Molino. He got the kid P2 show. He worked for me. The kid's a bum. The kid P2 show. You got the kids take a picture of him with mock necks on. He's 18 years old.
I know, but a lot of guys do that. You know, you got guys kissing their ass. You take a picture, and how many pictures did I take with a million?
No, I know, but I'm saying the guy.
You can't really. You can't judge it, but I judge it.
Why did they call Sammy the Bull? I heard because when he was younger, he was strong as a fuck.
No, his name was Sammy the Bullshit, honestly. He changed it to Sammy the Bull. That's listen, I can make a list with this guy.
There's no winning this battle here.
If this guy's real, he'd be filming in Brooklyn like we do.
Yeah, we do. Right? We always filmed everywhere we went around. We ate at Peter Luger's. We used to eat at Peter Luger's. Listen, me and him used to go on Peter Luger's, and that's active gangland right there. We didn't give a fuck who. Me and him were driving. We seen the Carrazos. They looked at us, and then they looked away. We were driving to go do a photo shoot in Brooklyn.
Listen, I go to Mulberry Street now.
Yeah.
I says, everybody knows. I actually even took Mikey Scars there to dinner with me.
Right.
I was, to be honest. But listen, I'm all over the place. But the point is, Joey's, it doesn't matter. Whatever's going on in his life, he's never hit. The guy does it, and the guy's out there. Like him or leave him, he's out there. And he does things on his own. He doesn't need anybody. And the guy said, I'm going to bring up something else that guys brought up to me about Chris Paciello. Chris Paciello is tough with his hands.
Big guy.
He's a big guy, strong guy, he's tough with his hands. But I talked to Joey's own brother-in-law about this. I know exactly what happened there, right? Because I got it from on the other side, on Joey's side. But on Joey's behalf, first of all, he's not 30 years old. Second, he was on parole at the time. Third, you're talking about fist fighting. If you want to be
Chris is going to crush him.
Okay, but that's it. Listen, you want to get in the ring and become a professional fighter, MMA, UFC, I get it. He's a gangster.
No, I know.
You don't got to go in there and
No, I know that. I know, but at that time in a basketball game, he got no weapons. Chris could have pulverized him.
And he could have, and I guarantee if he would have, Joey wouldn't have let it go.
No, I know. No, he's definitely, listen, Joey Molino definitely has that attitude about him, but I just think that.
Attitude, don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck about the Gambino family.
But that's how. But he doesn't understand.
And I like him because
these other guys that are on TV all like say it wrongly, like, oh, I'm going to go to. I'm telling him like this: if he comes at me the wrong way, I'm cracking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing it. You know how we operate. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to play tough guy. Like, anyone that disrespects me, I just fought a fucking bouncer in Florida. He was the size of a car. I don't care. I'm just saying, if you think you can ever come to me and disrespect me or try to abuse me with that fucking sideshow Bob you got, what's his name? Fucking, what's his name? The little fat kid, Snuffleupagus, who messages me. You message me on IG.
Listen.
The ball's on you.
Listen.
Okay? You ever run into me, you better run for your life. Okay?
Listen, he's got friends like the kid. Well, I don't know if he's friends with him anymore. He knows him. The fat kid Angelo wants. This is a fat little turd kid. He's got more fucking cameras around his fucking restaurant than you have you're going to a bank.
No, I know.
So these guys are cowards. If you walk in and you beat him up, you slap him, this and that, what's he going to do? So, he could rob him, he's going to call.
So you're taking Joey Molino over Sammy Gravano?
100 times over. Without a doubt, no matter. Listen, Joe, I'll say it again. Sammy shot one guy in his life. He's a fucking fraud. And it's not about just shooting. It's about putting yourself in harm's way. Sammy's never put himself in harm's way and shit. It's easy to be a tough guy when you got 50 guys.
What are they called? They were wild.
He's 15 years old. He's 17 years old. It's a joke. This guy ain't about nothing. If he's caught out in the street and gets slapped to shit, all right, he's an old man now. But it happened 25 years ago.
They just beat up Lee Cole. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They just threw Lee Cole beat.
Nah,
they threw him a beat.
Well, listen. I'm not going to stick up for the guy because he's a troll. But he didn't. His son slapped. They slapped the phone out of his hand or anything.
Yeah.
But the point is, you got guys, or you got a lot of guys that live off. When they got 100 guys, when they're tough. But it ain't about just shooting. It's about putting yourself in harm's way. And he ain't that guy, Sammy, to put himself in harm's way.
This is not my era. This is your era. I'm just saying, like, when I was growing up, your era, but I'm saying my era. I was told he was a millionaire, he was a killer, he was the underboss.
That's all bullshit. He shot one guy and he ratted a young lady out, gave her a boatload of time. He was in prison. He got abused a lot. I'm going to bring a Spanish kid on from the Latin Kings that also knows, and he abused him. I said, so I know when he did his time. I know he's a
But Joey Molino was also hanging out with a rat, who's known rat, and he knows the rat. The guy with the leather face, Tommy.
Oh, Tommy shows. Well, Tommy,
he's an informant.
But I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if Joey knows that he was under a fake name.
Under a fake name, yeah, and he still talks to him, Joey.
I don't know if he knows that now.
Well, now he knows. You're talking to an informant.
Again, on his behalf, I do know that he was sitting in the child hall with him.
Yeah, he was.
I know, but I also know that he was moving the guy like Joey does. That's what he does. He's getting money off the guy and shaking the guy down. He ain't gonna know each guy's a fucking rat. He ain't gonna know each guy has paperwork. Nobody does. How many guys are out there now that are active on informants and rats? How's he gonna know that?
Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just think, in my opinion, that at one time, I think that Sammy Gravano was a respected food gangster. I mean, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I do believe that.
Listen, I think a lot of guys get to fake their way through this life, and they're not really real. And when you're talking about Sicario, and I lived in,
what did the Queens guys think of him? What did the Queens guys think of him?
Most of them thought he was jerking, and he knows that he was going to get killed. He knows John wanted to kill him, and he spoke in his apartment in Ringland. He was trying to get the okay from Frankie Loke. Let's hit the guy. And really, it was a mistake talking in that apartment. But Frankie Loke was trying to ease it down because he knew he was inside. And Frankie Loke, nobody had no great love for him. And then I got to tell you, Sammy lied about a lot of things. I already told you this. He acted like Frankie Loke liked him. You gave the guy life. Frankie Loke would have choked the shit out of you if he could have. And you didn't help Frankie Loke trying to get an appeal to get out of jail, because that was me that was doing that, trying to help Frankie get out of prison. So he lied about that. He lied about the Louis DeBono hit. He didn't even know who was going to be on it. He didn't know that the teams changed on him.
Charles Kennedy killed him, right?
Charles, Bobby, and Kevin. Mm-hmm. But they weren't on the original hit team. It was Bobby's guys, me and Stevie and Joey, that was in Rikers Island with Anthony years ago. And then that team came up, and then I was supposed to get him up in Atlantic City.
But he's still, but at the end of the day,
doesn't know any of that shit.
But at the end of the day, he's still a sicko.
And then I'm going to tell you something else.
He's getting these people killed, though. He's getting them killed.
Well, it's easy to get killed. I'm going to ask my friend Ralph. I'm going to ask Bibi, do me a favor. They're close friends with me. Hey, can you hit this guy for me? And they're going to say, yeah.
I think he's more ballsy than Joe Messino. Joe Messino never busted a grape.
Joe Messino's a jerk.
Joe never busted a grape, Joe Messino. This guy never been a fist fight.
Here's my point. And
his underboss was a fucking
Here's my point for the guys that don't know.
By the way, my underboss was a correction officer. Did we really think we were going to fucking succeed?
So here's what guys don't know. Forget what title they are. A street guy is a street guy. And when Sammy says he was close to Joey's father, he's full of shit. He's full of shit. He wasn't close to him. And guys, when he says, I came down and I met with Leonetti and them, he's full of shit about that too. They didn't like him. So he can tell any dumb story he wants. Who's challenging him? I said, so when he says these fucking stupid stories, I caught him on a million times. I said, then when he was in jail, he had a chance to prove himself. And he didn't. Right. He took another route out. I said, now, that's his choice. But when you want to be a street guy, then why are you hiding? Because now he's an old man. He has an excuse. I'm an old man. What am I going to do? How about 30 years ago? You weren't an old man. In 1990, you're going back 35 years ago. Yeah, so 35 years ago, the guy was 45.
Who was trying to kill him? The hit story, that they were trying to blow him up with a bomb or something like that. Who was that? When they were going to try to kill Stanton in Arizona or something like that.
My friend was going to kill him.
Yeah, but who was that? Is that true about?
And that knew everything about him. And here's another thing that Sammy's going to do. He named a corporation, the same corporation out of New York. They tracked him. They knew they were going to go through his back door, his pizzeria. That was really his son's pizzeria. So I can tell you a million things. When he came to DB, he brought 6 armed guards. He wouldn't leave the airport section. I said, so when he wants to play his role, and he said, motherfucker, he doesn't pay back $3,000. He's a deadbeat. Just for the embarrassment, he should say, shut this guy up and send him $3,000. But he won't send that $3,000 because his whole life he's been a cocksucker. And anybody that knows the guy knows he's been a cocksucker. And the difference is, if you talk to Joey's friends, every one of them like him. Every one of his personal friends. Forget about outside. Because that's part of the game. You kill guys, and it doesn't matter his title. I don't care about Joey's title, anybody's title.
He's not recognized no more, though.
It doesn't matter. I don't think he gives a fuck either. No. He's a street guy. So when these guys are talking about him doing podcasts, and everybody's asking me, what do I think? I think mind your fucking business. If you're jealous of the guy, let him do his podcast. You guys are allocating to memberships. You're allocating to positions. You're fucking telling other guys to rat like they did on Benny Tarantino. Yeah, they told guys to go rat on him. It's okay. These guys are full of shit. Benny Tarantino, my friend.
Yeah.
So when you talk about guys that are real guys, these guys are just street guys. Just like any black kid or Spanish kid that we came from our neighborhoods. I tell them all the time, I don't give a fuck what color he is. He's a street kid. He's a gangster. The guy's capable of doing anything. He doesn't need 200 guys with him. These guys, Al Diaco from Little King's Fam, as soon as he ratted, he ran away.
Gas pipe.
Joe Messina, as soon as he ratted, he ran away.
Yeah,
I said, I could go through all these guys. All the captains in your crew that ratted, they all ran away. One after another, they all ran away. Chucky Porter, when he ratted in Pittsburgh, he ran away.
We didn't run away. We live right in the neighborhood.
Here's the difference. That's what I'm saying. I said, so any of these guys that want to talk that shit, but they without 100 guys, they ain't got no balls. And then, now they all got cameras everywhere. So when you got guys and they talk shit and they're typing away and they got cameras, you didn't kill a motherfucker, you didn't shoot a guy, you didn't stab a guy, you didn't bat a guy when there was no cameras. Now you're going to be a gangster now? You got these jerk-offs telling you on the telephone they're made. You got other made guys.
We had a kid. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to. I got to tell you a great story. So, when the Colombo family and Genovese family, was still strong, this is right before the Colombos got wiped out, they had Don Peps wired up. Remember Don Peps?
Yeah, sure.
They had a wire in the closet, and they had wires all over. And there was a kid in there, lady, who was on the phone telling some girl, I killed people for the Genovese family. Wait, all this stuff. Wait, I'm a hit now. It was on wiretap. They had it in the newspaper. You really killed these people. The fucking asshole was going to bring it down in emergency. Had nothing to do with it. He was telling everybody, yeah, I killed people. I watched this guy. They split his head open over it. I don't want to say his name. I do like him, but it was really embarrassing. This goes on.
To round up the point for anybody that understands, and I've said this many times.
That Joey Molino's a jerk off.
No. The Westies were Irish. None of them are made guys. They're all associates of families. And I dared anybody in those days to go to any of them and tell them they're nothing. I said, you can see how fast they'll kill them. I said, now, they were a small group of guys, no different than the Philly guys. Yeah. But they got busy. And the guys in Philly, they were busy. Right. And some of them that I still see around the street, they were tough guys. And you always got jerk-offs. You got guys like Joe, fat nuts.
Remember when we had John Rubio on? There was wiretaps with Joey Molino telling him, what would you want to do with my family for? With nothing. You should go with the Genovese, with the royalty. He even said it himself.
He might have said it himself, but Joey wouldn't give a fuck about
No, I know. I'm just saying. He said it himself.
Listen, he understood the life. He understood how to play the game. He's a smart guy when it comes to the street. Like everybody, they got flaws, and he likes to be public, like I said earlier. But overall, I go, if you're the guy's friend, he's pretty loyal. And money-wise, listen, he was a wild man with money. He's a big gambler. He's a crazy gambler.
And he gives sports checks, and he owes every bookie in Philadelphia money. Figure that one out.
Yeah, but it's still, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Listen, it's part of the life. He's a street guy. Listen, that's part of it. No one said that he's, he's the most educated guy around. I'm just saying, as a street guy, he knows the street.
I'm just letting him know, and everyone listening, I'm not approachable. If you think you could approach me and say anything you want to me,
but I don't think he did it.
I know, but I don't think he was. No, the other guys don't say so too, because these other guys on the internet go, I'm going to call the FBI. I'm not calling cops. I'm not calling the FBI, CIA, DEA, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. If you approach me the wrong way and you think that that's going to be okay, it's not happening.
Listen.
Just saying.
When he was doing these shows, he did things too to get numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
So, it's part of the game, and it's no different than you got these trolls running over our pages talking like idiots, and there's a million of them. I'm not going to name all their names.
Right. Yeah, but these other guys on the shows make me laugh. You come near me, the FBI. I'm not doing that. You're not doing that.
But you're going to get these guys doing that, like I said. You got that. I used that fat kid's name a couple of times now. The kid that used to know him, the fat kid that's got the restaurant down in South Jersey.
Yeah.
He's a fat little punk talk like an idiot. If you walk in there and you beat him half to death, you know what he's going to do. That's why he's got the cameras there. There's no reason to have cameras there. You're supposed to be staying your street.
Cops call them.
What's all the cameras for?
I know.
So I want to know what the cameras are for.
They love when they say rat, and then all of a sudden you get into a little altercation and they call the fucking police like this. But I got fucking how many 911 calls?
Listen,
you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
When we rob,
all my victims were drug dealers. They're going, I want my stuff back. I robbed you drugs and money and your fucking jewelry. You want it back?
When we tied up Papa Vera, the funeral pilot, with Skinny Dom's Goomba, right? The first thing he did is ratted. He went to the police station. He ratted. The guy's dead now, so it doesn't matter. But that's what he did. He went to the police station. They brought him in. He left. He went back several times over the weeks, and he kept trying to fucking point out who all of us were that robbed the place. Now, the guy's a fucking rat. He's around, and he talk like he's a gangster, like they all do. That's what all these guys do. They talk some bullshit. I could go through a list of every made guy from the last 15, 20 years that I know that never cracked an egg.
Right.
And then they run around like they're gangsters. They're not gangsters. They're not killers. They're not shooters. They're not tough guys. They're nothing. They think if they got 7 or 8 guys and they jump one guy, that gives them balls. But when you catch them and you do to them what you used to do to them,
right.
You'll see what kind of guys they are. They never did no serious time. I don't even think they did any time, most of these guys.
Right. I could back your stuff up because my Aunt Connie and a lot of my family members grew up with you and they said you were brutal.
Yeah, everybody
at the end of the day, but they also did say that about Gravano. I can't admit something bullshit. So, you know, it's like a hit and miss. I wasn't around. I know more about you because, you know,
but I know out of facts from John Gotti Sr.
I don't know anything about Joey Molino. You do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anything about him.
I had houses down in my heart, so I know that whole crew up and down. I said, I know him all, and I know he's real. I mean, you know, guys like him or don't dislike him, it's one thing. Well, there's a lot of guys I don't like, but I'm honest about them if they're tough guys. Joey, I always happen to say the same thing. Listen, he is what he is. Guys, the guys can hate on him all they want, but the guy's still out there, and the guy's done what he's done, and, you know, you can't take that away from him. The idiots that want to take that away, I tell anybody that says that about me, well, go get a fucking lawyer and go get all the paperwork about it.
Yeah, I know you're shooting.
I mean, so, you know, it's stupid.
Guys, you heard it first. We're debating. It happens. But like I said, we are back to Johnny and Gene show, and we'll be coming at you with a lot. You know us. We have no hair on our tongues. We say, we speak as it is. It's going to be me and him coming at you raw and live. And
yeah, I'll tell you one other thing. Sammy, go home and get your shoe shine box and fucking shoe shine Joey.
Hey, and Joey Molino, go. All right, yeah, we'll call it off. But somebody sleeping in my bed, messing with my head. That's a good show.
You guys, we're done with the show, and we're going to do a lot of mob talk things and some true things, and we're going to be talking. I'm going to compare some guys so people can start understanding who's a gangster, who's a real tough guy, who's a street guy, who's these frauds. I don't give a fuck about their dumb positions. They pipe out these fucking stupid positions. I'm Albania, can give a fuck about any of their positions. I never did back then. I still don't today. And I don't respect the guy by no fucking title. I don't care what he does. I respect him as a man, a gentleman.
Yeah, I don't fuck with
and if he really is a tough guy that puts himself in position. Be a tough guy when there's 5 guys against you. Right. It's easy to be a tough guy when you got 15 guys against 2.
100%.
So, and even then, they're cowards.
Or put him in Rikers Island like I had to be. I was the fucking only fucking white guy in the motherfucker. And I was fucking the man, fighting with everybody, stabbing and cutting.
I'm going back to something next week. We're going to do that show. I told you about.
Let's do Rikers Island stories, matter of fact. We got jail stories. These guys don't have no jail stories. Let's go into jail stories next time and talk about who's did what in prison. Because these guys got street work.
Talk about it now.
I'm just saying, but I'm saying.
Throw 20 minutes.